Hey everyone, it's been a long time, but welcome to day 87 of building the flight booking engine. I made some changes to the project, and this was suggested by one of you. His name is Okelo Jeremy, if I remember very well. And yeah, I want to walk you through what I changed, what I did, and then we can continue. I see my volume is low. I think it's quite okay. And also sorry about switching the time. I thought I'd have this stream at the time I had proposed, but due to a few challenges, I was not able to. So let's go through what I've done and I'll explain some of the changes in the code base. So first things first, you can see we have a new page, okay? That can help you print your ticket or download your ticket. And addition to that, we have a QR code. So if you scan this QR code, it will take you to the ticket. For now, I've made it public, okay? And you can view it, okay? You can try it right now using your phone. I was thinking maybe later I can make it, can I say private, that it will need some kind of authentication for you to view the ticket, but now it's public. So essentially, when you scan this, it will take you to the URL that shows you this PDF, as simple as that. Then you can see this is the actual ticket, okay? This is the actual flight ticket being shown on this other side. Nothing special, nothing unique. Then on this other side, just the usual travel data, okay? The booking reference, we have the PNR, the status. And if I click print, okay, you can see we have this browser print window, okay? And of course you can save as PDF, you can change from landscape to portrait, okay? Personally, I love portrait. Also, you can change, if you see here, they have more settings. You can change to maybe A5 or to this letter, okay? Whatever suits your needs, tabloid, A3. Yeah, pretty interesting. Then also, once you move down here, you can see the pages per sheet. Yeah, generally the usual printing stuff that we need, okay? And headers, background graphics, whatever you want to do it. But yeah, just giving an option to print your PDF, okay? Not to print your PDF, but to print your ticket, because it can be a PDF or an image. Like actually what I uploaded here is, I think, a JPEG, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so I'll cancel this, and downloading works like before. Okay, so I'll cancel that. Then when you go back, you'll be able to see the page that brings you to that other page where we're from. So if I click on open ticket in these actions, I remove the previous actions of download and view. I wanted it to be in one place so that this page simply shows you the booking details. And if you want to pay, you'll find the action here. Okay, that is if the paid button is not existing, and that paid button will not exist if you've paid. So this booking has already been paid for, so you won't see that uh, that pay button here. Okay, but in the quick actions here, you need that pay button. Hey Rohan, thank you for joining today's stream. I actually didn't expect anybody to join today's stream because of the timing. Yeah, but they have some bit of time, so I had it at this time, and I had a few things challenging me. Yeah, I hope you're doing well today, Rohan. So, and by the way, the good news is I talked to the payment gateway. They are willing to push me to production. All they ask is a few details, things like a trading license, Form 20, Form 8, uh, copies of my passport photographs, my IDs, and things like that. Yeah, I'm just sharing this so that in future, when you want to push your project to production, you know exactly what to do. Yeah, but it's pretty nice. Yeah, so let's yeah, continue. So when you click on open ticket, like I told you, it shows you everything. Okay. So I wanted to transfer everything from the other page, the previous page I just showed you, to this one, so that you're able to print your ticket and do everything concerning tickets on one page. So I think, I don't know what you say, but I think this looks uh okay. I'm looking at something in the chat. I need to, okay. So I hope everything is fine. So let's continue. Okay. I want to show you something. If I go to my bookings, okay, you see I also made changes here. So here you can download if you want. You can download your ticket from here, or you can open, okay, or view the ticket. If you view details, you come to this page. But if you click on open, okay, it takes you to this page, okay. Look at that. If I click on, if I go to open, it brings me to this page where I can either print the ticket or view it like in this section on the right, or scan it, okay, using my phone, okay, using your camera, stuff like that. So now let's go to the code. It's not that difficult, okay. I want to make sure that those who have been following this project for a long time get to understand what is going on. Okay, so if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Let me expand this and close. I don't need terminal for now. And then I can now go to the backend. Let's start from the backend, yeah. So the backend, there's only one change, which is in the tickets.py to the schema, okay? No major change, okay? But obvious fields, the message, which is a string, the ticket URL, which is a string, the booking ID, which is a string, and the public ID, which is a string. And of course, the class is called ticket upload response and inherits from base model, okay? And I don't want to go again over the benefits of Pindatic and stuff like that. This is something we have discussed over and over again, okay? But if you have questions concerning Pindatic, of course, you can ask me. Then I'll close this and move to the front end. So for the front end, we have, I'll start probably from types, okay? Even before types, from the package of JSON, okay? I added a package called QR code, okay? So QR code is a package, JavaScript package or NPM package that is responsible for helping us generate the QR codes, okay? So the QR code you're seeing here is generated using that package, okay? It's not like some kind of magic I created. So I can now close this file and move to types. So in types, not, in fact, there's no need for that. I wanted to show you, I'll start with the tickets page, okay? Or even the, yeah, tickets. I have to rename this thing, okay? My was something I had when I was vibe coding the front end, okay? I end up with this my, but I need to refactor it to a better name. But let me leave that for now. So on this page.tsx, there's a change, okay, that you've already seen on the front end, but I want to share with you in the code too. Should be down, I'm close to it, yeah, right here, okay? So here I have a change that if the booking.ticket URL exists, or simply meaning that if a booking has a ticket URL, we show this section, okay? This division, this div. What does this div have? It has two things, okay? A link and a button, okay? The first one is to open, okay, which takes us to the ticket page. How do I know the ticket page? Look at this href. It says / my tickets, then booking.id, okay? So open is referring to this. Let me go to that page, referring to this button, okay? This green button called open with an I. Then download is referring to this other button here, okay? As simple as that. And of course, you have things like other things like cancel, okay? You're seeing cancel here, view details, okay? Which are these other two? in the extreme right. But right now, my focus is on the changes, okay? So we have open, like I told you, which takes you to the ticket page where you see the ticket and you can print the ticket, you can download the ticket, you can scan the ticket using a QR code, okay? And then obviously the quick one for downloading. So this is the only change I have on this booking list page, okay? Take note of that. Now let's go to this ticket detail page. To go to it, I'll go to page.tsx. So you can see the hierarchy. It is my tickets booking ID. So here we have a number of import statements, okay? That by now I'm sure you're used to. Use effect, use memo, use state from React. We have link from next link, use params, use router from next navigation, then QR code from QR code. So this is when we use the package we installed, okay? And then use auth from the store that we created, and then the API client and is an authorized area from our local library that we built. Now from line 11 to line 17, there's an interface called ticket page data, okay? It takes the order ID. It doesn't take, but it defines that we need an order ID, which is a string, a PNR, which is a string, a booking date, which is a string, and a status, which should be one of the following, either confirmed, pending, cancelled, paid, reversed, failed, or refunded. In fact, there are better ways of doing this, okay? Of defining this status using types in TypeScript or even an interface, okay? Then we have an optional ticket URL, which is, of course, a string. I'll close that. Then we have a function component, okay? It is called ticket document page, okay? Export default function ticket document page. It's referring to this page here, okay? This is the page. This is the ticket document page. So this function component is responsible for rendering this page, okay? So I hope you now get the logic behind it, okay? Can I call it the logic, but how they match, okay? So let's continue. So at the beginning, we have a few definitions. Okay. I'll reduce this so to explain one at a time. Okay, we have a few definitions. We have params. Okay. Then we have the router. Okay. Then we have functions from use auth that we defined for logging out. Okay, checking if someone is authenticated and whether the page has been hydrated or not. Then we have the booking ID, okay? Then we extract the ticket data, okay? And a function for setting the ticket data, okay? From our state. Then we have the QR code and a function for setting the QR code from our state. The loading state and the function for setting the loading state. The error and the function for setting the error, okay? Then the function for printing, no, the function, the data for the printing error and the actual function for setting the print error. So this is for the previous one is for errors which are not printing errors. Okay, the actual error message, which is not a print error, and the function for setting an error message, which is not a print error. Okay, these two can be improved actually. I can use only one. Then this other one is the actual error, which is a print error, and the function for setting that print error. Then we go ahead in the use effect, okay, which has a dependency on the booking ID, the hydration state, the logout function, and the router. Okay. So if you don't have a booking ID and hydration is not done, if one of them is not done, or either of them is not done, we simply return. Then inside here, we can now call a function called load ticket. Okay. An async function which takes the loading state, which sets the, which not takes, but sets the loading state to true, sets the error to null, okay, and makes an API call, okay, to this endpoint to pick flight orders for a particular booking, okay, and then sets the ticket data. When you move down, okay, you now have the data ticket URL. Okay, it's a check, an if statement checking for this. So if this exists, okay, or if it is truthy, then we can use the QR code package, okay, to create a QR code, okay, by saying await QR code to data URL, and then we pass the data.ticket URL, okay. Then, because this simply means that our QR code will store the ticket URL. And in the config here, we now define the width, the margin, and the error collection level. Then we say set QR code URL will be the QR code data URL. Otherwise, we set it to null. And of course, if there's an error, okay, if the error is an authorized error, then we log out and push you to the login page. Otherwise, we also set that error, okay, or simply say fail to load ticket. And in any case, whether things are okay or things are successful, we return false. All right, then when I close this, we now call this function load ticket right here, okay, saying load ticket. And yeah, as long as any of this is triggered, okay, as long as there's any change to what is in our dependency array, then load ticket would be called. Hey Leslie, thank you for joining today's stream. Then I'll move on to the other use effect. Okay, simply has a first line of code here, line 68, which is a hydration check. Then we have an authentication check. Then we have a dependency array. Okay, in fact, there's a better way of doing this. I did this in some other component. I can't quite remember the component. Yeah, I need to give more focus on the front end. I've discovered I've put a lot of effort on the back end, but the front end needs attention because I'm seeing a lot of repetition and how things can quickly go wrong when I want to make major updates. Okay, so we have a use memo here, which simply helps me with determining the file type. Okay, so I get the ticket, okay, ticket URL from the ticket data, convert it to lowercase. Otherwise, it will be an empty string. Okay, then it has to match a certain pattern. Okay, using a regular expression, either a JPEG, JPG, PNG, or WebP. Okay, yeah. So if this is okay, I return image. Otherwise, I say return PDF. Then it also has a simple dependency, okay, to the ticket URL. So in case there's a change in the ticket URL, then not a change in the ticket URL, but in the ticket URL data, not ticket URL data, but ticket data. What's wrong with me? It has to be a change in the ticket data. So if there's a change in the ticket data, then this use memo can do its computation and make the necessary changes. Yeah, so it's simply to tell us, is the file, okay, is the ticket an image or a PDF? As simple as that, okay? Yeah, I was speaking too much. I should have summarized it for you that the reason or the purpose of line 74 to line 78 is simply to return a string, okay? This string will either be image or PDF. Then we go to the next one. Another arrow function saying handle print ticket. It's an async function. It makes a major check, okay? If we don't have a ticket URL, we simply return. If this step, okay, is passed, then we set the print error to null, okay? Then all this is logic, okay, to help us with printing it, okay? So I'll go through it. We start by fetching that URL, okay, by making a GET request, okay? Then we await that response as a blob. Then we say window.url, create object URL blob. Okay, this is how it works. Okay, then we now try to get the content type, okay? Or set it as a empty string. Now, if it starts with an image, okay, it will be, we shall have a boolean, okay? And its variable is image, if it starts with an image, okay? Then after that, we start by creating an iframe, okay? So document.create iframe. Think of an iframe as a browser within a browser, okay? Small browser within a browser. So we create that iframe. After creating the iframe, we simply now set the positions, okay? Its position is fixed, first of all, okay? Its position to the right is 0 pixels. Then we set the position to the bottom, the width, okay, the style of the width, the height, the border, and opacity. As simple as that. Then at the end, we simply say print frame set attribute area hidden to true. Okay. Then you can say document.body.append child print frame. Okay. So we add this iframe to the body. Okay. It's what gives us what we saw here on this other page. So if you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask. All right. Then of course we have some cleanup work. Okay. By revoking that object URL, okay, and removing that iframe. So it's not hard. We simply have a blob as our response. We create an object URL, okay, pick the header, pick the content type, create an iframe, okay. So document.create element can create anything, can create a paragraph, a heading, a section, a div, can create an image tag, basically anything, any HTML element. Then at the end here, if it's an image, okay, then we pick the document, and okay, if the document does not exist, okay, or the content window does not exist, we do a cleanup work and then print an error and return. Otherwise, if things are okay, we open the document. Okay. Then there's of course a duplicated function here called write, which I'll need to replace. Okay. But this simply gives us the contents, okay, of that document. And it's simply some HTML, okay? So you see we said define the doc type as HTML, we have an HTML tag, we have a head tag, we have a title tag saying print ticket, okay? Then we have the style, okay? So this style is the HTML and body tag with a margin and background. Then we have a body tag. Then we have an image tag, okay, with basic CSS. So the body tag, like you see, has a display of flex, okay, items aligned to the center and content is justified to the center. Then the image has a width, okay, a width, a maximum width, a height being auto, and object contained, object features contain. Then of course the page, the at page with a 12 margin. Yeah, so that's the basic style. Let me see. I'm sure many of you here don't like CSS, just like I do, but it doesn't hurt to go through it. Then of course in the body, okay, see the body is too short. Simply have an image tag whose source is that object URL. And the alt, it says ticket. Then we do document.close. Then at the end here, we simply have a query selector that looks for that image tag, okay? And we add an event listener to it, which is a load. That when it loads, run this function, okay? We call set timeout with a timeout of 100 milliseconds, okay? What does it do? It calls focus and the print function, okay? So it calls two methods, rather, the focus method and the print method. Otherwise, the else, if the print frame loads, okay, we call or run another function, and this function runs also set timeout, okay, with a timeout of 100 milliseconds, and calls the focus method and print method. Outside it, we simply set the source attribute of the print frame object to the object URL, which is simply our ticket. Okay. Yeah. Depending on whether it is an image or a PDF. So here saying after print, we call a cleanup function and we say window.remove event listener after print. Okay. Then we do the same thing here. Okay. The same logic here with a set timeout function, but this time to 6,000 milliseconds, 60,000 milliseconds. But I'm going to, there's actually a better way of doing this. Okay. I think I would edit it and maybe push it to GitHub later. Then in case of an error, we print. But I'm planning to remove all these errors in my production code. So you guys who have the project, what is it called? You have the public project, okay? Make sure you also change it, okay? Because there are changes which I do in the private repository which don't reflect in the public repository. So make sure the two rhyme for you. Then I need to change something. So that is print ticket, then download ticket, okay, is the same logic we had previously. Okay, so I won't go through it, okay, but you can read the code. Then this is simply check for loading state, the check for the error state, the check if the ticket does not exist, okay, and yeah, simply has a message, okay, says your ticket is still being prepared, check back later and you'll be able to view, print or download it here. Okay, says back to booking. What else? Here's basic HTML with a back button, a print ticket button, download ticket button. Okay, so print ticket button calls handle print ticket. Download ticket button calls the handle download ticket when you click, okay, because it has the on click handlers here. What else? Yeah, this is simple basic HTML. If not clear, you can always ask me. Okay, so if I show you, so you see this message, use this page to keep your ticket handy, print a copy or download it to your device before travel. Okay, is the message you're seeing here. Okay, then we have, okay, helpful if you want quick access from another device. Okay, that's for the QR code. Then of course you have the section that shows us the ticket. Okay, the actual ticket, which is this other section here. All right, so yeah, not bad. Then of course there are these small components like info row, which simply show the data like the PNR, the status, and the order ID. Those are things that are down here. If you look at info row, okay, simply takes in the label, the value, and the mono, which is false, okay. And these are simply the types. That label is a string, value is a string, and mono is an optional boolean. Okay, then down here it simply displays them, okay, in a paragraph. And it's a label, value, and the mono. But mono is simply for the font. Yeah, so there's nothing really hard about this feature. It is simple, but it can help the users pick their tickets from any device, okay? So if I go to, what page can I go to? I want to show you something else, probably this. Here, I think I showed you this. Yeah, everything else is the same. If I go to booking success, the change is not that big. I can't seem to find where the change was or is. Okay, right here. Okay. So here we have booleans, okay, which help with checking for the ticket status. And then down, the actual application, okay, using has printable ticket as the boolean. Okay, so if has printable ticket is true, in that case, we show open ticket, okay, and then this other text. Yeah, so yeah, I don't see anything really hard that we have to do. I think the project is done. Yeah, when I reach production, yeah, you'll see me announce and let you know how everything is going. Yeah, but so far so good. I appreciate everybody who has been on this journey with me. Thank you, Leslie, for being an active participant. Rohan, thank you for checking in too. All right, bye for now, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream.